Christina Rossetti, Remember. Remember me when I am gone away, gone far away into the silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor I half turn to go, yet turning stay. Remember me when no more day by day you tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me. You understand, it will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile, than that you should remember and be sad.
We love to sing two songs put to music in our hymnal by poet Christina Rossetti. Both are Christmas songs. There's number 84, Love Came Down at Christmas, and number 112, In the Bleak Midwinter. Well, looking at her writings, what can we learn about her? She was born on December 5th, 1830 in London, one of 4 children to Italian parents. Her father was a prominent poet, as was her brother. And Rossetti's first poems were written as a child. Her father published them in 1842, when she was merely 12 years old. She lived at a time when the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century was in full bloom, and in bringing with it huge political and cultural change. The old society based on an agricultural economy was being tossed aside, and no longer was England a society of the rich and the poor. There arose the middle class. But while many people benefited, some found the changes difficult, and the development of urban slums and abandoned farms was prominent. If you look at her works, you see an attempt to recover England's legendary past. At the same time, the Tractarian movement in the Anglican Church shared her interest and the protest against the modernity of the day. It sought to recover much of the doctrine and sacramental practice of the medieval church. Until that time, religion was based on the Word, on the Bible. That was all that was necessary. But the Tractarians emphasized the sacraments, teaching that water, oil, bread, and wine become the means of God's grace. They also taught that a life of personal holiness dedicated to serving others is the road to union with Christ. Those values have become the fundamental building blocks of the entire Anglican communion. It is not Scripture alone, but with it reason and the sacraments, taught and protected by the episcopate down through the ages to our very day. Christina is best known for her ballads and her religious lyrics, and her poetry is marked by symbolism an intense feeling. She wrote from the heart. Her best-known work, Goblin Market and Other Poems, was published in 1862, and it signaled her as a significant voice in Victorian poetry. During most of her life, however, she suffered from ill health. Diagnosed with tuberculosis or angina, and led a somewhat solitary life. She continued nonetheless to write poems. She also wrote religious works, such as Seek and Find in 1879, Called to be Saints in 1881, The Face of the Deep in 1892. Sadly, in 1891, she developed cancer and died in London on December 29, 1894. Her brother edited her collected works in 1904, but the complete poems were not published until 1979. So we are grateful for the example of piety and the inspiration of Christina Rossetti, whom we offer this day.